Your board passed simulation and assembled fine, but 6 months in the field you're seeing cracked vias, delamination, or intermittent failures. Or worse, reflow looks good in the lab, but your fab rejects the Stackup because TG is too low for lead-free. A lot of RF designers optimize for impedance and loss but forget thermal. The Stackup has to survive reflow, thermal cycling, and your operating environment. Today, I'm showing you how to actually design a thermally robust Stackup so your board doesn't fail in the field. Here's what trips people up. Heat flows through the Stackup from hot spots like a PA or power plane out to the edges or to a heatsink. Each layer is a thermal resistor. The formula is simple. Thermal resistance equals thickness over thermal conductivity. So a thick layer of FR4, thermal conductivity around 0.3 watts per meter Kelvin, adds a lot of resistance. Rogers RO4350B is about 0.7 watts per meter Kelvin, more than twice as conductive, so heat moves through it faster. In the z-axis, the dielectric dominates. Copper's high conductivity means it usually contributes very little to through-thickness resistance. The app calculates resistance per layer and identifies dominant layers, those contributing more than 20% of total resistance. If your thickest core is standard FR4, that's your bottleneck. Swap to a higher K material, FR408HR, VT470, Rogers, or Megtron on the hot layers and resistance drops. For high-power RF or automotive, typical targets are roughly 15 to 50 K times centimeters squared per watt, depending on application class. Above that, you need thermal vias, copper pores, or heat spreaders, and the Stackup is often the root cause. Two more things that kill reliability: TG and CTE. TG is glass transition. Above it, the laminate softens. Lead-free reflow peaks around 260 degrees Celsius. You need a margin, typically 25 to 50 degrees Celsius above max operating temp, depending on application. Consumer gets 25 degrees margin. Automotive and high power get 30 to 50 degrees margin. High reliability classes typically demands TG above 170 degrees Celsius regardless of operating temp, just to survive assembly thermal shock. If your Stackup mixes materials, the minimum TG in the stack defines your limit. If you mix low TG FR4 with Rogers RO4350B, the FR4 often becomes the weak link. Older 130 to 140 degrees C TG FR4 is not suitable for lead-free without risk. CTE, coefficient of thermal expansion, matters for thermal cycling. In the z-axis, dielectric expands more than copper. Copper is about 17 ppm per degree Celsius. Many laminates are 40 to 70 ppm per degree Celsius. That mismatch stresses plated through hole barrels every power cycle. The app checks adjacent layer CTE mismatch and warns when dielectric ZCTE is more than twice copper. That's where PTH cracking risk rises sharply. Application class matters: consumer, industrial, automotive, RF/microwave, and high power. That sets required TG margin, max thermal resistance, and operating range. The app maps your Phase 1 application to thermal class automatically. So here's the workflow. 4 steps. Step 1. Know your application: consumer, industrial, automotive, RF/microwave, or high power. That sets required TG margin, max thermal resistance, and operating range. The app maps your Phase 1 application to thermal class automatically. Step 2. Check thermal resistance. Calculate it layer by layer. Identify dominant layers. If total resistance exceeds your class limit, say 25 K times centimeters squared for RF, upgrade materials on the bottleneck layers or add thermal vias. Since air in a via is an insulator, the app helps you estimate how many copper-filled or plated vias you need to bridge those bottleneck layers. Rogers and Megtron have 2 to 3 times the conductivity of standard FR4. Step 3. Validate TG and CTE. Ensure every dielectric layer has TG above your operating temp plus margin. Check CTE mismatch between adjacent layers, ideally under 70 ppm per degree Celsius. Copper dielectric mismatch above 2x is a red flag for PTH reliability. Step 4. Balance the stackup. Thermally symmetric stackups warp less. The op computes thermal symmetry by comparing top and bottom halves. It also checks copper ratio and dielectric ratio. Symmetric construction reduces stress during reflow and thermal cycling. High-power designs need copper planes for thermal distribution. Low copper content means heat can't spread. The PCB stackup generator runs a full thermal analysis: resistance, critical temperatures, CTE, operating ranges, heat capacity, and design validation. It flags TG violations, CTE mismatches, and high thermal resistance, and gives recommendations like thermal vias or material upgrades. The takeaway is thermal is not optional. Pick the right materials for your application class, validate TG and CTE, and balance the stackup. Then your board will survive reflow and thermal cycling in the field. Check the show notes for the PCB stackup generator to run thermal analysis on your stackup before you fab or release to production. Now go build something that actually lasts.